Waltrip. Row number 15 will be Jerry Mayfield and Bobby Hamilton. Wally Dallenbach and Derry Cope go in the next row. Then in row number 17, it's Jimmy Spencer and Dick Trickle. Hut Strickland and Johnny Benson are in the 18th row. The 19th row consists of two provisional starters, Ricky Craven and Morgan Shepherd, and Dave Marcus will start in the 39th position, he too a provisional starter. Getting set for the green flag, and we have the distinct pleasure of having Bill Elliott in the booth with us for the first few laps of this race. Welcome, Bill, and sorry you can't be down the race car, but you sure got a good substitute in it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's hard to give up sitting in a race car to come up here and sit in the booth. You know, from the fan standpoint, you know, I want to be in the car, you know, I want to do what I got to do. But I didn't feel comfortable running the whole race. I felt Dorsey do a good job. I'm about out of breath from running up the stairs.
It is a tough climb, and we appreciate you doing so, although your leg, I know, has to be hurting. The green flag comes out, and the Bud at the Glen is underway. BP, who's it going to be in one?
It's Dale Earnhardt, that is. Dale Jarrett's going to get second spot. Labonte, Rudd, and Rusty Wallace and Jeff Gordon side by side. A lot of cars side by side. And so far, they all have made it through the corner.
It'll be a very important 5 bonus points that the leader of this first lap picks up. And, of course, Dale Earnhardt wants to pick up those 5 points very badly in case he does have to get out of the car and turn it over to David Green. They're heading toward the inner loop for the first time.
And they come in there. Dale Earnhardt still in the lead with about a 3 or 4 car length lead, Bob, as they come through there. So he's in good position to lead that first lap. Dale Jarrett has Terry Labonte right on his bumper as everyone got down in single file coming through the inner loop. And looks like they all made it. And Earnhardt now heading out toward turn number 10.
Built up a pretty healthy lead over Dale Jarrett here on lap number 1, and it appears as if he might be able to lead his first lap. Michael Waltrip and Joe Nemechek go through corner number 10, wheel to wheel, and heading for turn number 11, which will bring them back to the start-finish line and complete lap number 1. And indeed it is Dale Earnhardt leading the lap, picking up the bonus point. And you'll recall at Indianapolis last week, the reason that Earnhardt moved up to second in points is because Mike Skinner picked up the bonus points for staying out there and leading. Thought we might have a battle for second there for a moment as Labonte took a look at the inside of Jarrett, but Jarrett held on to second.
And to come through the S's one more time, Earnhardt still with a comfortable lead. It's not to look in that rearview mirror when you're going through the S's and you have to get up here to the inner loop and slow down and know that somebody's not right on your back bumper, so you can slow down and gear down a little bit more at your own pace. Jarrett moves in a little bit closer to come in here, but Earnhardt still has that comfortable lead, and Terry Labonte is right on Jarrett, and certainly right on Terry Labonte is Ricky Rudd.
Bill, you've driven against Dale Earnhardt for many, many times. How long do you think he's going to be out there?
Well, I tell you what, Dale's driven pretty hard right now. I think from the injury he suffered at Talladega, you know, he's trying to prove to himself, I guess, that he needs to go out and compete, continue to race. But in his situation, that's what he needs to do. Like me, once I missed a race, it was irrelevant if I missed another one today or try to go on. But like for me, I didn't feel comfortable enough with my legs in the car, trying to keep my timing down, keep shifting, and everything you have to do at this particular racetrack. I didn't have enough strength in my left leg to continue on. I felt like I could probably run half the race. If you've got to get out, you might as well say, go ahead and let Dorsey run the car and worry about that from that point on.
Let's call on our resident doctor to explain more medically why Bill was hurting so much in the car. Doc?
Well, Bob, it's remarkable that Bill could even qualify the car. The big high-speed left-hand turn, right-hand turns mean his left leg bounces against the left side of the seat. And Bill is a left-foot braker, so that's the leg that has the plate called the screws in it. So, Bill, you impressed me by just qualifying the car. I can't imagine that leg would have lasted very long on that brake pedal, at least on the left side of the seat there, right where that long screw plate is. So certainly, I admire you for getting out of the car and letting Dorsey get in.
Wally Dallenbach is moving up, started 31st and is up to 25th. He's to the inside of the 22 car of Burton and taking another position.
Yes, he is. He's doing it at ease here through this turn, Bob. He gets one, at least one, every time he comes through the long sweeping turn number 9.
Moving to the inside here in turn number 10 to the inside of Bobby Dillon. They're racing for the 23rd position. And here we go with second and third position is Dale Jarrett and Terry Labonte, and Ted Musgrave is headed the wrong way on the racetrack. What a horrible feeling that must be, Phil.
I'm telling you, that's the worst position you can ever be in. But, you know, if everybody can see you and kind of get around you where you get turned back in the other direction, you're doing good. But I'll tell you what, that's no place to be here.
And that was coming off of turn 11, Bob, it looked like, and he tried to spin the car around, but the back end wouldn't break loose for him. Now it looks like the car's died.
And he does have it, I think, refired, but nevertheless, a full course caution is coming out. Yes, indeed, it is being displayed from the starter stand here in front of us. Musgrave is underway again, though.
The question is, will Earnhardt stay out, or will he come in and put David Green in the car? He said he needed an early caution plate. Here it is. This may be a break for him, but he may stay in that race car.
Man, that thing looks awfully good out there, Benny. It looked like he was just able to pull away at will, and it's going to be tough to get out of there unless he's hurting awfully bad, but we'll see.
Jerry, what are they thinking down there?
Well, Dale told me that if they got a full course caution early, he would get out. As you see David Green getting ready behind us. David in that Goodwrench uniform. That's the Caterpillar helmet he wears in the Busch Series. But, of course, as the caution flag waved, Dale didn't want a full course caution, quite honestly. He wanted to run the full 90 laps. But now he may have to be true to his word. And when the pits open up here momentarily, he may have to come in for a driver change. The plan early on for Earnhardt was this. He wanted to try to run another qualifying lap on the first lap and lead and get those 5 bonus points. Then he said, look, I'm going to get comfortable. I'm going to fall back in line. I know Dale Jarrett will be there. I know Rusty will be there, the 10 car and the 5 car. So I'm going to find me a nice, comfortable place, maybe 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th, and ride and stay out of trouble. Of course, they hadn't caught him yet. And now the caution came out, and the strategy may totally change. He may indeed come down and climb out of the car.
But, guys, you know, the exact same strategy that Bill Elliott's using here would work here. The longer Dale Earnhardt stays in there, you know, when they change drivers, David Green's going to have to go to the rear, and it just takes a long time to work your way back up there. So the earlier they can stop, the better off they'll be, if indeed he's going to get out of it at all.
Time will only tell, and we'll know here in about a half a lap. We went to this full course caution because of Ted Musgrave's spin. It happened in corner number 11. That's the final turn that leads on to the front stretch, and car just slid sideways on him.
Well, there could have been some contact with the car behind. We have no idea because we caught the spin at the last half of it, but there could have been some contact that caused Musgrave to go around.
You saw everybody go either to the inside or outside and miss Musgrave, and that's when you have to pay particular close attention, Bill, to those corner workers that help you with the yellow flags in that particular area.
Well, see, in our position, the corner workers are very critical here because they're our eyes as far as what you can see. Most of the time here, you try to rely on a spotter, but you can't have a spotter in every corner, so you rely on the corner workers to do their job, whatever you're going to do. It's going to be interesting to see if Earnhardt decides to come in here. I'd say leading the race is going to be a tough decision from his standpoint because, I mean, it's hard to get out and end up having to put David Green at a disadvantage even this early in the race. But just like with Dorsey starting for me, he's already up to 31st, so he's doing well. So it's a hard decision to make, and I don't envy those guys for what they're having to do, but for me, I didn't have really a lot of choice.
Let's go back down to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, Bob, the decision has been made, and apparently Earnhardt will come down pit road. David Green's been told to put the helmet on. They got the crew standing by. And if you remember last week at the Brickyard 400, as you look at David Green getting ready to climb in that car, I don't think there was as much pain with the actual broken bones in Earnhardt's clavicle and sternum as there was emotional anguish when he had to climb out of that car after 6 laps at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is awfully tough for Dale Earnhardt. He wants to drive this race, but he was told by Richard Childress, by wife Teresa, that you got to look at the big picture. You got to look at Michigan next week, the high-speed oval, and of course Bristol, Tennessee coming up in a couple of weeks. And I think even some of his close friends say, hey, I know Clint Eastwood's your hero, but after what you did on Friday in qualifying, you may be Clint Eastwood's hero. So apparently Earnhardt will come down momentarily and have a driver change.
Something has happened to Hut Strickland's car. It's smoking. It's going very slowly on the racetrack, and so Hut is in trouble. David Green and Richard Childress are discussing the situation. The cars are nearing corner number 11 and the entrance to pit road, and so we're going to know here in just a moment if indeed they are true to their word. No, he is staying out there. Not a surprise, and we can hear, even here in the booth, the cheers from the fans. They like it that Dale's staying out there, Doc.
Well, here's the conversation, guys. I mean, what a surprise, huh? Richard Childress says, Dale, come on in, guys. Come on in, let's go ahead and make the change. And and let David get in the car. We'll be okay.